me, Madison, and I'm here for another fun DIY for this week. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but outside it's chilly, it's cold, the sky's getting darker, the days are getting shorter, and you know what that means? Autumn is upon us. One of my favorite seasons, and most importantly, one of my favorite seasons in our Flowers and Dreams menu. And today, I'm gonna be featuring some stuff that's gonna be on our menu. So I am super excited about that. It drops next week, so when you get this DIY, the fall menu will be there. And you're gonna have a preview, and it's already gonna be in your house. How special. All right, so let's get started, all right? So today I am working out of this vase. This is the Flowers and Dreams bronze small vase. I really like it. A little ASMR for y'all. It's very cool, kind of modern in a way, but I feel like it goes in a lot of houses, so I really like it. And I think it screams autumn with the colors. This bronze color is very autumn. All right, next we have our celosia. Celosia is an amaranth. We've talked about this before. It is native to places like Asia and Africa, I believe, specifically Africa. And it is used in some foods like stews. Fun facts, because it's in the amaranth family, a lot of the things inside the amaranth family are used instead of stews and food, like quinoa. So I say that all the time when I have amaranth on one of these DIYs, but it is one of my favorite families. And just look how beautiful that color is. It's gonna go very well with our fall line. Now we have a beautiful pop of orange and snapdragons. Fun fact, in some folklore, some people believe that snapdragons keep away evilness and witches and help you not age. So if anybody wants to look young forever and make sure a witch doesn't put any curses on them, you got snapdragons now, you'll be okay. Next we have olive branches. So olive branches are a really cool green because they're really sturdy. I love using them and they just add like a really cool two-toned color to everything. Especially because it has like these two colors, like the front is like this green color and the back is like that grayish light green color. It's really nice. Inside of olive lore, sometimes inside of history it was used to signify divinity or power. Usually lots of like Roman and Greek mythology, olive branches are used. And inside of some like religious aspects, it can be peace and a symbol of new life, new things to come. I just like it because it's pretty though, so that's all right. Next we have these beautiful spider mums. What's really cool about these is they have these like, one, they're like a burgundy color, but they have this beautiful like golden color that kind of comes out on the tips. Beautiful. And it's gonna really bring in that fall vibe. Next we have these really deep, kind of hot pink, but a little more deeper carnations. And these are really tight, so I'm gonna show you guys how to open them up. Next we have these Safari Sunsets. Absolutely beautiful. When you look inside of them, they have this like little creepy little eye in the middle. And the texture of them is amazing. They bring great texture, and I'm really excited to use them. So we're gonna use those. And last, but certainly not least, the classic flower of floristry. You see it in everything. We got some orange alstroemer. This orange alstroemer is really cool because it's orange and it has these like stripes on it, so it's a little cream. I think it's gonna really bring out those like bronzy, like brownish earth tones inside of our arrangement. So yeah, let's get started. So first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start greening. Now, olive branch comes in all these fun little branches. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna break that down. I'm gonna go up and down my stem, give everything a fresh cut, and then start going in a circle in my vase. Because remember, we wanna build our mechanics. So we're gonna make sure that we're following that pattern. So I'm gonna put one going that way, then maybe the next one. I'm gonna pick that a little shorter so I get the angle that I want. Remember, that's always important. When you want the angle that you want, you gotta cut some stems shorter than you think. Don't be too shy. Cut off a little at a time, because remember, what do I always say? When you're cutting a stem, you can always cut more, but you can't bring it back. So be careful. right, still stripping off all those bottom leaves, using the thicker pieces to really build out my vase. Bam, bam. Keeping some lower at first, and then I'm gonna start going in with those larger pieces. You wanna know what grinds my gears, guys? I literally filmed this video already, and then my phone said, "You've ran out of storage." 7 minutes into the video. I almost became a super villain. A fall super villain. A Flowers for Dreams villain, but I didn't. All right, so I'm gonna keep cutting. I'm still separating my olive branch. Maybe that's what I should be for Halloween. The Flowers for Dreams villain. I don't know what that would look like. You're gonna keep going. Putting those sticks in there. I love me some olive branch. You just come to so many branches, so it can be time consuming sometimes, but it's worth the wait. It's just worth it. I'm gonna get some longer pieces in there. Really fill it out. Put those shorter pieces toward the front. And you want to fill out your vase because you don't want to look down into your vase and you're seeing stem. Now we got a lot of stems in this bouquet, so I'm not too worried about that, but still, it's good to have backup. All right, so next what we're gonna do is we're going to start with our linears. I like to start with my linears because it helps frame your bouquet. It's a great way to start. I'm gonna use this tiny snapdragon and I'm gonna put it more towards the front. Now with linears really help build depth and like frame your bouquet. So you want to make sure that you're not just putting them all in like one direction. Like I'm not gonna have them all facing the front because then my arrangement will be flat. And we don't want that. No flat arrangements in this house. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to use my mechanics to kind of prop things up, but have the stems facing different directions, you know? Like you don't want them all just facing forward. So have some facing back, have some facing forward, have some facing inward. Follow the gestures of your tiny bouquets, and then also have them at different heights. You want them at different heights. All right. I'm using a little bit more of my olive branch to kind of make this a little more sturdy. There we go. Flower arrangements are kind of like puzzle pieces, you know? You're building a puzzle that's gonna hold up all of your like stems and stuff. So you want to make sure that every single time you put a stem in, you're placing it thoughtfully. Like you're like, where can I put this one to hold up? It sends the floral message that I want it to, and it looks beautiful. All right, so next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with my mums. So sometimes flowers can come in a little crazy, like this mum. And it's because, you know, it takes a long journey before they can get to your doorstep. So you want to make sure that you're really taking off any petals that look a little wah-wah. It's not because the flowers are necessarily bad. It's more just because they've gone a long journey. And I want you to think about how you look after you get off like a 7 to 8, probably more hour plane ride. And then you get in a car. And you're shipped across the US. That's how flowers do it all the time. So they need a little love once they get out of their packages. So you want to make sure that you're taking off all the stems and then any extra petals that might look a little, you know, junky. Just so they can put their most beautiful face forward, is what I say. Beautiful. That one right there. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous girl. And I'm actually going to use my mom to prop this up a little better. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Next, I'm going to go in with my amaranth. I'm actually going to save one for the end, but I'm going to go in with this stem right now. One, because amaranth is really sturdy, so it will help my mechanics. And two, it's low-key linear, so I want some of it to kind of frame my bouquet as well. Put that one right there. Strip off those bottom leaves, remember that. Put that one right there. Beauty. All right, next I'm gonna go in with my Safari Sunsets. Safari Sunsets have all these pretty leaves, so we're not gonna strip all of them off because we want that beautiful texture. So I'm gonna strip it kind of right there and then cut it so that this part isn't in the water, but you can't really see it. Man. And I'm gonna keep those a little taller too. And I'm also gonna put them together because if there's one thing about me is I love when Safari Sunsets are like in doubles. Y'all know me, I love doubles in an arrangement. So I'm gonna put them right next to each other. Ooh. Now remember, you don't wanna block any of your beautiful flowers, so I'm actually gonna put this one in on an angle so that my beautiful, wondrous snapdragon is still being seen and it's beautiful. All right, perfect. Next, I'm gonna go in with my Alstroemer. Sometimes I use Alstroemer so often that I just forget the name entirely, which is crazy, crazy pants. I'm gonna put one in the back to really fill out the back because the back might be seen too. And then I'm gonna fill in some of that middle space in the middle with a beautiful pop of orange Alstroemer. And again with Alstro, I'm taking off all of those little leaves because one, they usually die first and they get in the water, and remember, they're losing the water. But most importantly, they block the flower. Like they really block the flower from being seen. So here's a before, or sorry, here's a before, and then here's an after. And then also, when you take those leaves off, you're kind of focusing on what the plant, now that it's dying, is gonna put energy towards. So it's really gonna help those flowers bloom. It's gonna help them open up. And they have that really cool opening shape, kind of like a lily, which is why in some cultures they call them, I think like Chinese lilies or something like that, something similar to that. Because they look cute, they do look like tiny little lilies. They're very cute. All right, and for this one, let me look at my bouquet. I think I'm gonna put this one right in this corner. But I might have to cut it, oh, I don't have to cut it shorter, sweet. All right. Beautiful, fall, it's giving fall. It's giving let's go to the apple orchard. All right, so now I'm gonna use my last celosia. I'm gonna strip off all of those leaves and things I don't want. Cut it like that and put it right here. Beautiful. This is a very full bouquet. I love it. And then next, but certainly not least, we're gonna put in our carnations. So these are what carnations usually come in when they're in the package. They don't always look super open when you first get them. So what you can do is you can open them up. So there's two ways you can open them up. One way you can take these little things. We've done this before, but if you're new, hello. Take these little leaves on the bottom, they're called sepals. Those are the leaves on a plant that are modified to protect and hold the petals of a flower. You're gonna take those and you're gonna peel them back. Just peel them back. And you can see that this carnation is already starting to open up because that slit is already there. So we're just gonna follow that slit a little bit more down because this is what the plant does naturally when they start to open. But you're just doing it for them. And this doesn't take too much life out of a carnation either because we all know carnations, they be lasting a while. So we're just helping it out just a little bit. You know what I'm also gonna do with this? I'm gonna take the middle, just so we can see that middle color, and I'm gonna pick out some of the middle of my carnation. I learned this from a dear friend named Betty, and it can really make a carnation look like really cool, because then you can see this color in the middle. That's what it looks like. Beautiful. Now the other way you can open up a carnation a little bit is you can take it in between your fingers and twist it just like that. And that kind of does the same thing, but sometimes when you do that, it might damage it. So I try to stay away from that one just a little bit. But it still works just as good, as you can see. And again, I'm gonna pluck that middle out just so we can get a little color in there. Fluff it out a bit. Not too much on this one. All right, and now I'm gonna place these in places that I feel like it needs it. So I kind of I'm noticing in the front, my arrangement is looking a little flat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have this one kind of going out a little bit. See how that added so much like depth? And also just pulling out all your stems and like adjusting things, but doing things like that really helps. And remember, since this is a short vase, you want to make sure that you're cutting your stems a little shorter for certain things like that, so you can get those angles that you want. All right, let's look at the front of this bouquet, and let's see where we might want our last carnation. I'm gonna move this snapdragon to right here, so she's happier. She wasn't happy right there. She was getting crushed. Maybe I'll put this one in the front too. Beautiful. All right, and now we're gonna do our adjusting, those final touches. Again, you're gonna pull things out, make sure all the flowers in each of our plants are showing their beautiful colors. Remember, I always say, flowers have faces, so you wanna make sure that you're showing their beautiful faces. Pull that one out a little bit, twist it to the side so it's a little bit more in the front. I'll pick out this carnation just a little bit more so we can see that beautiful white color in the middle. Gorgeous. You know what? Let me place her a little better. There we go. And pull that one out a little bit. Place it upward. Place that one this way. Place this one a little better. Really stab it through that middle so it stands up. See that? Man, that's not moving. This one too. Make sure this one's not moving. And let me give it a good look. I can never see what it looks like because I'm so tall. I'm so tall. Move this one to the front. And also pull out some of your olive branch. Sometimes olive branch can get lost. So really make sure people know that that's the green that you chose, you know? Greens aren't just for mechanics, they also add flair. So you want to make sure that those are being seen as well. Again, I'm pulling out my greens a little bit. They're a little lost in the sauce. All right, and that's it for this week's DIY. It is absolutely beautiful. I think it really screams fall. So we have these beautiful mums, for one, that are like kind of two-toned, and they go really well with our other orange touches, which is our snapdragons and our alstromera. And then we have our safari sunsets, which really pair with that bronzy color as well, because they also have that burgundy tone to it. We have pink celosia, and then that hot pink carnation that adds a bit of color, but still goes in with that reddish, deep, like fall tone that we're trying to bring through. Everything's absolutely beautiful, and I hope you guys enjoy this arrangement as much as I did. I would love to see what you guys made, and if you could send pictures, just make sure to send them to Flowers for Dreams Detroit or Flowers for Dreams, the main Instagram. And yeah, as always, thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!